When you're traveling, sometimes you're faced with the most unexpected situations. You can make a plan and then life happens and things change, and when things change, your plans will need to as well. Luckily, we don't mind shaking things up. Last week, Mackenzie and I found ourselves in Vienna during Austria's worst flood in the last 100 years. Luckily, we still got out to explore some of the city in our own way, and this was just the start of our plans changing.
So we arrived at our train station in Vienna to catch our train to Bratislava, and then because of the flooding all over Central Europe, our train is cancelled, so we're waiting for a replacement bus at the moment. The gentleman we spoke to said it should come in 17 minutes. We hope he said 17, not 70. And then we'll take a bus to the same station that we were going to transfer and hopefully get onto a train. Fingers crossed.
On the bright side, the skies are blue in Vienna, so things are looking up.
Okay, so we're all on the same page.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Okay, we made it on the bus. Apparently we're going to Bruk, which is between here and Bratislava. There's no trains from there to Bratislava.
Yeah, it's a bit uncertain. So.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna go and then go from there. Yeah.
Everyone is trying to help each other out. We're gonna figure it out once we get to Bruk. We might be staying in Bruk. We'll see.
Yeah.
We're gonna get closer and we'll see.
Yeah,
Okay, we made it to Bruk, Austria. We're with a little group of people here who are all going to Bratislava. So we're trying to get a taxi for all 6 of us. He's gonna help us arrange it. This taxi driver here, fingers crossed. Okay, so the taxi didn't work out. We had a group of 6 and then he could only take 4. So as we are 2, we got left behind. But we're figuring out our next step. We're gonna decide if we're still gonna try to go on to Bratislava with an Uber, with a taxi or something, or what it looks like if we go back to Vienna and find another place to stay tonight. So we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna see what's next. Never thought I'd visit Bruk, Austria, but here we are. With the cost of trying to get another place to stay in Vienna if we go back tonight versus what we're gonna pay in Bratislava to stay that we already paid, and getting an Uber there, we're gonna try to get an Uber and see if it picks us up. I've never crossed a border in an Uber, so I wanna do it today.
Success, success, success.
Well, let's make sure it doesn't cancel.
Welcome to Slovakia.
So 2 people at the train station ended up sharing the Uber with us.
Yeah, the nice guy at the train station helped us, and we thought it was gonna be 30 euros a person, but because he helped us and we got in a different cab, it ended up being 15. Woo!
So we made it to Bratislava! I've been dying to ask my people about this. So last week we were on a train and it was in one of the cars where you face each other in little booth type things, and it was really full, and let me mention it was raining that day. And there was a couple in the car with us, and the girl was visibly frustrated because it was so full, and she ended up putting her wet boot up on the seat that my friend Catherine was sitting on while she was sitting there. We immediately were taken aback. And we ended up having a bit of a conversation with her because she was upset that we were reacting, but we were taken aback that she would do that. So what do you feel about a wet boot up on a seat, a fabric seat that someone is sitting on? What do you feel about that? Yay or nay?
Now that that is off my chest and we're finally settled in, I can explain a little more about Bratislava and why we're actually here. Because like I said, we didn't originally plan to come, but after record-breaking floods in Vienna, which shut down transportation across Austria, we had to pivot. And honestly, that twist of fate brought us somewhere totally unexpected, but completely magical. I mean, look around. Bratislava is the capital of Slovakia, perched right on the Danube River. For over 250 years, this was the coronation city of the Hungarian kingdom. 19 different kings and queens were crowned here at St. Martin's Cathedral. The Old Town is compact but full of character. Michael's Gate, the only surviving medieval gate from the 14th century, still guards the entrance, and tucked along the cobbled streets are quirky bronze statues like the famous working man peeking out of the manhole. This is just proof that this city has a good sense of humor. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Above it all is Bratislava Castle, sitting high on the hill with views stretching into 3 countries at once.
Austria, Hungary, and Slovakia.
It's a reminder that this place has always been a crossroads of cultures and empires. What's wild though is how young Bratislava really is as a capital. Slovakia only became independent in 1993, making this one of Europe's youngest capitals. And it's the only capital city in the world that borders 2 other countries. Exploring here feels less like checking off a tourist hotspot and more like uncovering a hidden gem. And of course, while we're here, we have to try some of the traditional Slovak dishes because food, it always tells part of the story too. It's one of my favorite parts.
Every North American who complains about how it's hard to find tap water in Europe, or you always have to buy a bottle of water, they never bring you tap water, needs to come to Bratislava in Slovakia, because literally every restaurant we've gone to has brought us table water or a glass of tap water with our drinks or before we order. Cheers.
Okay, we're here in Bratislava. We're gonna try one of the famous dishes, which is creamy garlic soup, served in a bread loaf. And this is pretty much just garlic with cream and other things. So it's really gonna clear out the system, if you know what I mean. Let's try it.
I feel like we should note that we are going on a train after this.
Ooh, it's very thick. Maybe that's just the bottom of the bread.
I like how you get a whole loaf of bread.
It's a bonus. Honestly, as I may have expected it being way too garlicky to even enjoy, it's not. It's like creamy, a little cheesy. I think a little cheesy. It's creamy, it's garlicky.
It basically tastes like you're eating melted garlic butter.
No complaints. Yum. That's amazing. There's more cheese to add if we want. It's honestly like fresher and more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to hit you in the face with garlic, and it definitely is garlic forward, but I could eat this whole bowl no problem.
I think we should put in a little extra cheese.
Sure.
Waste not, want not. Yeah, it tastes like you're eating oniony garlic butter, melted. How anyone in this country kisses anyone, I don't know.
Bring out the mints. Like, it's not at all like too strong or too garlic forward to really enjoy.
Delish.
And I feel like at the end, once you've eaten most of the soup, the bread with all of the soup like soaked into it is gonna be incredible. Yum. This was our tour guide's #1 recommendation for dishes to try. This dish of fried cheese with tartar sauce. And it has an interesting story because it comes from during the communist period where there was a lack of meat in the country. And schnitzel was very popular, so they introduced this version of schnitzel that is cheese. And the joke is that it's a vegetarian dish, but of the least healthy variety. So let's try.
That cheese pull.
I got a big bite. I'm walking away. Okay, I see why this was recommended #1. Immediately, the tartar sauce reminds me personally of fish and chips. But how can you make fish and chips even better? Make it cheese, baby. Oh my god. It's also a very satisfying level of melted. Like, the cheese is warm and a little bit gooey, but it's not like melting and soft everywhere. It still holds its texture a little bit. It has like a little bit of a firmness, but it's the perfect amount of breading on the cheese that it kind of gives a little bit of a crunch, but doesn't take over the flavor of the cheese. And paired with the tangy tartar sauce, oh my gosh, such a delicious dish. If we were staying here for more days, I would come back and have this again and again. Yum. That's like,
And then
is
you
this a 10 out of 10?
would
This
never
is-
be able to go to the bathroom again.
But I would be vegetarian, so slay for that.
10 out of 10.
It could
It's
be.
your first 10 out of 10 this trip.
It's maybe a 9. I mean, what would improve this? I feel like nothing would improve this, so I gotta give it a 10. Like, that's delicious. So delicious. You gotta try. Is that not good?
It is hilarious because it's just like a giant cube of cheese. Like, it's cheese. It's cheese, baby. It's very delicious. What's not to like? The tartar sauce with it is really good. The cheese is really good. The breading is good. I don't know if I'd give it a 10 out of 10 for me. I love a dish that has a bit more like seasoning spice to it. But like if you like cheese,
It's fried cheese.
it's fried cheese. It's delicious.
We just popped 3 mints each after eating that meal of garlic soup and fried cheese.
And I'll need more.
For a city that wasn't even on our original itinerary, Bratislava brought us so much unique history, so many tasty treats, and an overall welcoming vibe. Because it's not necessarily the first city that people think of visiting when they come to this region of Europe, coming here feels like you're discovering a hidden gem, a little off the tourist path. Affordable, beautiful, with so many adventures waiting to be had.
We're here in the Bratislava train station. We're gonna try Coca-Cola Zero with Oreo, the collab.
Yum. It tastes like Coke at first. And then there definitely is like a chocolatey cookie taste. It's kind of like, not creaminess is not the right word, but sort of like almost like a buttery flavor that has like a chocolate undertone in the aftertaste. Yum. Honestly, better than I thought it was going to be. More drinkable than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's Coke. It does taste like Coke and Oreo. But it actually works out. Like you do get a strong Oreo taste. I mean, it sounds stupid to say, but it tastes like Coke and Oreo mixed. But I think the most surprising part is it's actually delicious.
I'm traveling in first class for the first time on the train, and they just brought us complimentary water, feeling like a fancy person over here. And this is perfect because I was stressed coming into this train that I would be parched. Now I won't. One of my favorite parts about traveling with the Eurail Global Pass so far has been the ability to go to destinations that I wouldn't normally think of, or like places that are a bit off the beaten track, and even be able to change up our itinerary to go to those places. Like, we were not planning to go to Bratislava or go to Slovakia, but when we saw how close it was to Vienna, we decided to add a travel day and go there, and it has ended up being one of my favorite stops on the whole trip so far. So even though we weren't planning to go originally, I'm so glad we were able to add another train journey in.
So in the bathroom is powder.
Take 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right. Ooh, it's very thick.
Welcome to Slovakia.
Make sure it doesn't cancel.